Catholics often point to a verse in Matthew chapter 16, which says that the church will be built on Peter, the first pope, and the gates of hell will not overcome it. Essentially, what they're saying is that Satan will not be able to prevail over the Catholic Church. The church will always stand, and it will be preserved throughout all of time, and God will just continue to protect his church. But when you look at Catholic history and you see some of the amazing and wonderful things that they've done, it makes it very difficult for me personally, and a lot of other people, to believe that the gates of hell have not prevailed over the Catholic Church. I can point to many examples, but my favorite one would be to talk about the amount of orgies that have occurred in the Vatican itself, supervised by the Pope. And if a Catholic wants to look me in the eyes and tell me that the gates of hell have not prevailed over the church, while something like that occurred in history, and that's just one very small example, when something like that has occurred in history, it makes it really hard for me to accept that the gates of hell have not prevailed over the Catholic Church. Because if that's not enough, if that isn't an example of the gates of hell prevailing, then I don't know what would be. I mean, if that isn't it, then what would have to happen for the gates of hell to prevail? Now, a Catholic may say something along the lines of, well, yeah, sure, there can be times where things get bad, but there is still the real Catholic Church, the real believers who are there, who are following Christ, who do have faith, and the gates of hell haven't prevailed over them. And to that, I would say, absolutely, I agree with that statement. I'm not here saying that there has been no Christians throughout all of human history until the Protestant Reformation or something like that. I think that there have been Christians throughout all of time since Christ. Okay, so I would agree with that statement, but that's not what they usually are saying when they mention that the gates of hell will not prevail over the church. What they are saying is that God will perfectly preserve the church and the traditions and everything all the way down the line until we get to today, and it's an unchanged, uniform church with the popes have been picked from Peter till now, all that stuff. I don't see that. When you see the types of people who get the papacy, how you could have basically bought the papacy, or it was nepotism, or all these other extremely corrupt things going on in the Catholic Church, not to mention the orgies, it makes it really difficult for me to believe that the gates of hell have not prevailed over the church. And if they want to stick to that line, if they want to stick to that catchphrase, that's fine, but it's going to be really difficult to convince your average person who sees these things to believe that if God is preserving his holy Roman Catholic Church, well, it just doesn't seem like there's a great job happening here. That's kind of what I'm trying to say here. I think God is preserving his church. I think God's doing a great job of preserving his church. It's the man-made things. It's the humans intervening and establishing their own power and trying to build their own kingdoms. That kind of gets in the way of what God is trying to do, not the other way around. So I think that God's doing a fantastic job of preserving his church, and I really would love to hear a Catholic try and defend these things, because I've had a lot of conversations with Catholics about these things, and it doesn't seem like they have a satisfactory answer. They always tell me, oh, just go watch this person. They'll be able to answer that. And it's never good enough. I want to hear it from you guys. I want to hear it straight from your mouths. Defend this. And I want you to say, yes, even in those times where an orgy was occurring, multiple orgies were occurring in the Vatican, that those times are not examples of the gates of hell prevailing over the church. I'll leave it in your court here. I will. I hope you guys have an answer for me. I just don't think that there is one.